So we go to the next group of consciousness. There is rootless consciousness. Hetuka Chitta. So you should you take note of the meaning of these two Pali words. Hetu and Mula. They mean the same thing. They mean the cause or the root. Not just as the roots of a tree give rise to a new tree. So the same thing, these roots, they give rise to the consciousnesses. Now we have below the second line, Kusala Hetu. Kusala is immoral, Hetus are the roots. They are the immoral roots. So what are they? Lobha, Dosa and Moha. And you already see, they give rise to Lobha Mula Chaita, Dosa Mula Chaita, and Moha Mula Chaita. And Kusala Hetu, moral roots, the good roots, the beautiful roots. So they are just the opposite of the immoral roots. So we call them Lobha, Dosa, Moha. So Lobha is greed. Alobha means greedlessness. So if you don't have no greeds, then you don't have no desire, no craving, no attachment. That is alobha. Dosa is anger, hatred, and ill will. Dosa. Yesterday we say it's very beautiful one. So it is angerlessness, hatelessness, and you can tolerate. We call it tolerance, and then you can forgiveness, and also we call it loving kindness. Very beautiful. And moha is ignorance. It makes you blind and dull, not to know about everything. Now, in the case of moha, it is the wisdom, the wisdom that can penetrate into inside everything to know what the things really are. So Abhidhamma is actually describing for that. Okay. So in the data chart here, so we say those three immoral roots, Lobha, Dosa, Moha, they give rise to the 12 immoral minds. And then the beautiful roots, Alobha, Dosa, Moha, they give rise to Kusala Chaita, moral minds. So the moral minds, they amount to 21 or 37. They are quite a lot. And now we have this Ahetuka, 18 rootless consciousness. So they are these three subgroups. So they belong to Vipaka Chaita and Kriya Chaita. So we explain below the next paragraph. So the next paragraph we say consciousness with root called Sahetuka Chaita, and consciousness without roots called Ahetuka Chaita. And the next paragraph, the 18 Ahetuka Chaitas are classified into three groups. Number one, Akusala Vipaka Chaita. So that the only word you have to know here is Vipaka. So at the bottom of number 3, in the note you can see Vipaka is karma result, or we translate resultant consciousness. They are the result of the past karma. So we have done both good actions and bad actions in the past life, as we have lived many lives. We have done all these the action. So when we perform immoral actions, so immoral karma will arise in our mind. And then when we perform meritorious deeds, moral mind and moral karma will arise in our mind. And yesterday I told you, these karma, they follow us. Light of the light, they are always following us. Whenever you go, like your shadow is always following you, they are also following us. So they are transmitted from mind to mind. So in the mental stream, they are always with us. So now the immoral karma will give rise to these kusala vipaka chaita. So we give direct translation below. No, akusala is immoral, vipaka is resultant, chaita is consciousness that arise as the inevitable results of past immoral karma. And number 2 is not the same, ahituka kusala vipaka chaita. So kusala vipaka means moral, no, moral kusala. And ahituka is rootless. Vipaka is again resultant consciousness that arise as the inevitable results of past moral karma. And the third group, number 3, is ahituka, rootless. Kriya is functional, no, functional. So when they arise, when they need to perform their function, no, their job is their function. So they are called rootless functional consciousness. So at the bottom of page 38, no, we take the first group, immoral resultant consciousnesses. So there are 7 of them. So at the top of page 39, we give their symbols. So 6 of them have the negative sign. So if they have the negative sign, you just call them as we have said here. The negative sign is upekha sahagatam. So actually it is repetition. You have already know all these things. And then the number 5 has this this symbol. This symbol we say is dukkha sahagatam. Dukkha is bodily painful feeling. So domanassa is mental painful feeling. This is bodily painful feeling. When a mosquito bites you, you get the pain. So that feeling is this dukkha, dukkha sahagatam. So if you know them, then we can look at the name below that box. So number 1 is upekha sahagatam, chakku vijnanam. Now chakku means the eye. Vijnanam the same as consciousness. So it is eye consciousness. Eye consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. So if you know this, then the rest would be similar. So easy. So number 2, upekha sahagatam, sota vijnanam. Sota means the ear. So it is ear consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. Number 3, upekha sahagatam, gana vijnanam. Gana is nose. Nose consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. Number 4, upekha sahagatam, jiva vijnanam. Jiva means the tongue. Tongue consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. 5, dukkha sahagatam, kaya vijnanam. Kaya means body. Body consciousness, so accompanied by painful bodily feeling. Number 6, upekha sahagatam, sampatechana chaitam. Sampatechana means receiving. Chaitam is consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. Number 7, upekha sahagatam, santirana chaitam. Santirana means investigating. So it is investigating consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. Okay. So you can understand, we need the eye consciousness to see visible object. We need ear consciousness to hear the sound. We need nose consciousness to know the smell. And we need tongue consciousness to know the taste, and body consciousness to know the touch or tangible object. So these 5 are called pancha vijnana. So the next 2 lines, in the next 2 lines you can see these 5 consciousness are known as pancha vijnana, that is 5 chaitas that are consciousness of the 5 senses. And the last 2, that is sampatechana chaita and santirana chaita, represent 2 connecting stages in the process of cognition. No, cognition means awareness of an object. So, to be aware of each sense object, we also need these two connected consciousness, Sampatechana Chaita and Santirana Chaita. Now you look in the next paragraph. That is the second last paragraph of that page. So there we give you as an example, when a visible object appears in the eye, a series of consciousness has to arise and dissolve in order to see the object. First, Pancha Dwara Vachana is 5-door advertence or directing consciousness. So it is this consciousness actually, Pancha Dwara Vachana. Now we are going to study it very soon. So this Pancha Dwara Vachana, so it takes notice of that sense object that appears in the eye. So when we see a sense object, we think we are seeing that that object. It's not that. That object appears in the eye as the image. So when the object appears in the eye, then Pancha Dwara Vajana automatically take notice of this. It takes notice of this and it directs the mental stream towards this object. So, and then the next one is eye consciousness arises. It sees that sense object. Only eye consciousness can see the visible object. And the eye consciousness, as soon as it arises, it dissolves. So remember, in one snap of the hand, how many chaitas arise and dissolve? 1,000 billion. Remember that. 1,000 billion in one snap. So that means one consciousness, the lifespan would be only one part in 1,000 billion part of this one. So very short, very short. Finish. So only eye consciousness sees it just for a moment. We don't know it yet, this object. So what happened is, this eye consciousness, before it dissolves or it perishes, it transmits this image to the next consciousness. And the next consciousness is Sampatechana Chaita. This Sampatechana Chaita receives it, we see. So, it's important to receive this sense object so that it's not lost. We don't know it yet. Now it just receives it, and then again it transmits it to the next consciousness. And the next consciousness is Santirana Chaita. Santirana investigates this consciousness, whether it is good or bad. And again it transmits it to the next consciousness. And the next consciousness would be this Mano Dwara Vajana Chaita. We call mind-door advertent consciousness. It determines whether the sense object is good or bad. So at that stage we know only roughly whether the sense object is good or bad. So if the sense object is good, desirable, then after that Lobha Mula Chaita will arise 7 times enjoying that sense object. So the consciousness arises in this way. So because of this, Sampatechana, Santirana are also required. Now without them we cannot see, we cannot hear. The same thing when the sound that appears in the ear, then ear consciousness. When it appears there, again Pancha Dwara Vachana, 5 door, directing consciousness. Take notice of that. Pay attention to that sense object. And it directs the next consciousness to come to this object. Then ear consciousness arises, just for a moment again. And after it hears it, it transmits this sound that it hears to the next. And the next one is again Sampatechana, receiving it, and then Santirana, investigating it, and then Mano Dwara Vachana, determining it, whether it is good or bad. And then, if it is bad, then Dosa Mula Chaita will arise 7 times. So the enjoying that sense object. We go to page 40. The topic there is rootless moral resultant consciousness. So moral resultant means the result of moral karma. So these consciousness, there are 8 of them, they arise because of our past good karma. Our good karma. So if you look at the symbol, the first 7 is almost the same as the 7 akusala vipaka ceta. These 7 and these 7, they are the same. So the symbol are the same. Instead of this symbol, we give this symbol. So here is clearer. So now we, instead of dukkha, we have sukha. This symbol stands for sukha. Sukha is pleasant bodily feeling. Pleasant body. So it is a result of good karma. It should be the good result. So it is pleasant feeling. So the Anthony will explain to you. So when you don't like anything, you have pain. So when you draw a picture, so that the mouth would be like that. The mouth would be just like that. Like that. So when you smile, so you draw, the mouth is just like that. So it is sukha and this is dukkha. The only difference is only that. And we have one more addition, consciousness, we call it somanasa santirana ceta. Now we can read the name. So Anthony can lead you how to read the name, the same as those above. So you please read.
Oke, sekarang kita coba membacanya ya sama-sama. Jadi kita lihat dengan cara ini, oke? UPK Sahagatam Caku Winyanam, UPK Sahagatam Sota Winyanam, UPK Sahagatam Gana Winyanam, UPK Sahagatam Jiwa Winyanam, UPK Suka Sahagatam ya Kaya Winyanam, UPK Sahagatam Sampadicana Citam, UPK Sahagatam Santirana Citam, Somanasa Sahagatam Santirana Citam ya.
So please look at the bottom paragraph of page 40. So the second last paragraph we might say, according to Abhidhamma, one is in contact with disagreeable senses on account of one's own past akusala karma, unwholesome deeds. And at these instances, immoral resultant consciousness, akusala vipaka ceta, will arise. On the other hand, when we are in contact with agreeable senses, on account of our own past kusala karma, wholesome deed, and at these instances, moral resultant consciousness, kusala vipaka ceta, will arise in cognitive processes. So it's quite remarkable. So we are in contact with the sense objects all the time. So if you have a lot of good karma in the past, and this good karma are bearing result, then you will have the chance to see the agreeable or desirable good sense objects. So it is due to your good karma you see this good the good sense object. And now it is due to your bad karma. When you come in contact with the bad sense object that you don't like. So what we like and what we don't like depend on person. Remember, one man's meat is another man's poison. For example, the excrement, human excrement is very, very disgusting. Only for us it's disgusting, for the dogs it's very enjoyable. Enjoyable. So the same person, when she is your sweetheart, so whenever you see her, oh, you're very happy. No, when you're very happy, we say there is desirable sense object. So at that time, no, as the sense object is desirable and good, you think it is good, then at that time the kusala vipaka, no, moral resultant I consciousness will arise. Now the same person, now but she breaks from you and she goes away with another man. Now when you see the same lady, so you say, oh, I don't want to see her, she breaks my heart. So the same object, now you don't like it. So at that time, paticca will arise. So it will be immoral resultant I consciousness will arise. No? Now when you hear the music, the sweet sound, you like them, then at that time again we say you have moral resultant ear consciousness will arise. If someone is blaming you, you don't like it, what chitta will arise at that time? So the blaming is the sound. You don't like that sound, the blaming sound. So it will be immoral resultant, the ear consciousness will arise. So it works in this way. Now again, as the bad karma give rise to I consciousness, E consciousness, and also good karma give rise to I consciousness and E consciousness. So we have two I consciousness, two ear consciousness, two nose consciousness, two tongue consciousness, and two body consciousness. So now there are 5 pairs of these consciousness. They are called Dvi Pancha Vijnana. So these 5, the first 5 teachers, we call them Pancha Vijnana because they are aware of the 5 senses. So the 5 pairs, 5 here, we call them Dvi Pancha Vijnana. You shall note that word. It is on page 41 at the end of the 2nd paragraph. The 2nd paragraph, you can see Dvi Pancha Vijnana. So in Pali, Dvi means 2. Dvi means 2. Now, when you go into the toilet and you get the bad smell, so what citta arises at the time? So unpleasant smell, it would be akusala vipaka kana vijnana citta arises. No? So when there's nose consciousness arises, then when nose consciousness dissolve, then this again akusala vipaka the sambhadicana citta will receive it, and then the akusala vipaka santirana citta will investigate it. Now Now when you the smell eau de cologne perfume, so at that time what citta arises? You have the pleasant smell, so this time would be kusala vipaka. Kusala vipaka, moral resultant, nose consciousness, gana vijnana citta will arise. And again after that, when the nose consciousness dissolves, so the sense object is transmitted to sambhadicana, which receive it, and then again transmitted to santirana, that investigates it. Now when the sense object is only fairly good and pleasant, at that time upekha santirana citta will arise. Now, when the sense object is very, very good, not just like you see, your sweetheart, you are very much delighted, so at that time somanasa santirana citta will arise. So even while investigating, you get joy. You get joy, pleasant feeling. So it is somanasa santirana. We have one isha, somanasa santirana. So this eye consciousness, ear consciousness, as they arise only just for a very short moment. So when we say eye consciousness, arises to see the visible object. It just sees just for a moment and then finish. So it does not really know whether the sense object is good or bad. And because of that, we have only neutral feeling in these states. So all are accompanied by neutral feeling. And also, when they dissolve, they don't leave behind any karma property. They don't have any karma property. No, they arise so that we can see, we can hear the object, and after that, as no action is being done, just see it or hear it, no action is done, so no karma arises. So they arise because of the result of the past karma, and they perform their function, and then they dissolve, leaving no karma property. We go to the next topic on page 41, in the middle. We call it rootless functional consciousness. So there are 3 of them. So you can look on the table there. The first 2 are given the negative sign, and the third is given the positive sign. Now their names are given below. So you can read the name, and also you can look at the symbol. Number 1 is Upikha Sahagatam. You can read Pancha Dwara Vachana Chaitam. So Pancha means 5, Dwara means door, 5 door. Avachana means directing. So we give the meaning 5 door directing consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. Now please read number 2. Upikha Sahagatam Mano Dwara Vachana Chaitam. Mano Dwara means mind door. Now Mano also means the mind. So Dwara is door. So it is mind door directing consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling. Number 3. Somanasa Sahagatam Hasi Tupada Chaitam. Smile producing consciousness accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. And actually this Hasitupada arises only in Buddhas and Arahats when they smile. So again, when you smile, you have pleasant feeling, joy at that time. So it is accompanied by the Somanasa Sagatam, pleasant feeling. And the first 2, Panja Dwara Vajana, Mano Dwara Vachana, they just try to take notice of the sense object. Now, so we have 6 sense door in each of us. So you have see here the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body are the 5 doors. These are the 5 physical doors we say. And we also have the mind door. Like your thought, and the past sceneries that you have seen. So when you recall them, they appear in the mind. They appear in the mind. So the mind is also a door, mind door, we say. So these, the 2 are Vachana Chaita. So their function is to take notice of the sense object that arises in each door. So if the sense object arises in one of the 5 sense doors, it is Pancha Dwara Vachana, to take notice of the sense door, the sense object. Unless it takes notice of the sense object, we don't know. We don't know the object. So it's very, very beautiful the way the Buddha described in Abhidhamma. Like in science, they say if the visible object strikes the eye, then the sensation transmitted to the brain, and the brain gives the answer. Oh, this is what object, what's so like that. It's not like that. So even the sense object maybe appear in your eye or in your ear, but you are thinking about your sick father, trying to get the doctor. You are just concerned of this. So at that time you will not see. Even the car comes almost bumping you, you don't know. You only know when you jump. So that means Now these, the Pancha Dwara Vajana, it can take only one sense object at a time, so that we can be aware of only one sense object at a time. If the sense object appears in the mind door, it would be Mano Dwara Vajana, to take notice of this sense object in order to know it. No, so it works in this way. No, very beautiful. Now you just please take notice. Now this 12 immoral consciousness and 18 rootless consciousness. No, if you combine them, you get 30. They are called Asobana Cheta. Asobana means not beautiful. No, not beautiful consciousness. So when we say not beautiful, we does not mean they are the bad or wicked consciousness. And of course, the immoral consciousness, as they associate with immoral roots, greed, anger, and hatred, which are the bad mental factors. You may say akusala chetas are the bad consciousnesses. You can say that. And these, the 12 akusala cheta do not arise in Buddhas and Arahats at all. Because in Buddha and Arahat, they have eliminated all defilements. No defilement in them. But all these 18 chetas arise in Buddhas and Arahats. They are not wicked. So we say they are not beautiful because they do not have beautiful roots. So, like a woman, a lady has not applied any makeup yet, and no lipstick and no decoration, so she is not very beautiful. We say that. So some person they say, oh, why this Hasitupada arise in Buddha? It is the not beautiful consciousness. So not only Hasitupada, that means all these 18, they arise in Buddhas and Arahats. Because the Buddha and Arahats also need the eye consciousness to see, the ear consciousness to hear. So they need all these cheta to be aware of the sense objects. Only these 30 are known as asobana, not beautiful. All the remaining chetas are beautiful consciousnesses. So we are very lucky. There are many beautiful consciousnesses. They are beautiful as well as wholesome and good consciousnesses. No? But the trouble is, as we don't know about the teaching of the Buddha, the people, they live only with the bad consciousness that we have said. The 12 bad consciousness arising in the most people most of the time. So if we have 54 Kama Vajra Cheta, Kama Vajra means sense sphere consciousness. If you subtract 30, you get 24. So we call them Kama Sobana Cheta, 24. So these 24 Kama Sobana Chetas are divided equally into 3 groups. So we have these 3 groups. So in your book, page 42, please have a look at the topic on page 52, sense sphere, beautiful consciousness. Now, Kama Sobana Chetas, 24 of them, they are divided into 3 groups. So group 1, we call Maha Kusala Chetas. Maha means great. Now, Kusala Cheta is moral consciousness. And number 2, Maha Vipaka Cheta, great resultant consciousness. 3 is Mahakriya Cheta, great functional consciousnesses. Now, when we perform meritorious deeds, the good actions, we perform with Mahakusala Cheta, moral minds, with the moral consciousness. And when the moral Cheta, when they dissolve, just like we say when you perform moral meritorious deeds. What are meritorious deeds? Yesterday we say Sila, Samadhi, Panya are meritorious deeds. And when we say sila, it also includes dana, almsgiving. So we can also say in another way. No, meritorious deeds are dana, sila, bhavana. So dana, sila, when we say bhavana, bhavana means meditation. No, so bhavana meditation consists of tranquility meditation. That is training of concentration. And there is samadhi actually, development of samadhi. And then vipassana meditation, training of wisdom. So the same thing as sila, samadhi, panya, or dana, sila, bhavana. So when we perform, that means the non-arahats perform meritorious deeds, we perform with the moral mind, moral consciousness. When arahats and Buddhas, they perform meritorious deeds, so instead of the mahakusala chaita, mahakriya chaita arises in them. Kriya means functional, we say. Functional. They just arise to perform that meritorious deed. And after that, when they dissolve, they don't have any karma property. So because the Buddha and the Arahats, they don't have lobha, dosa, moha anymore. They don't they expect any good result from their meritorious deed. And they don't have the next existence to make use of this good karma. So only functional. And now when these moral karma, they bear result, moral karma, the moral consciousness, they produce moral karma, they produce their resultant, both this 8 rootless moral resultant consciousness and also this 8 mahavipaka citta. So they produce resultant. So we need this, the moral resultant consciousness to be aware of the sense objects, the 5 sense, the 6 sense objects. To aware of them, we know we need them. And mahavipaka citta, they function as our rebirth consciousness, and then as our life continuum to keep us alive the whole life, and finally as death consciousness. So the functions are different. The functions are different. So we ate mahavipaka citta also. Please look at the middle paragraph of page 42. So there we say, maha, great, means greater in number. Mahakusala citta is also known as kamavachara citta. So you please take note of that. So here, all these kusala citta, kusala citta here. So as these mahakusala citta are moral consciousness, in the sense of here, we also call them kamavachara, moral consciousness. So if you look at the kusala citta, we also have 5 rupa vajra kusala citta, 4 arupa vajra kusala citta, and 4 lokutara kusala citta. So among these groups, the kama vajra kusala citta are the greatest in number. So because of that, we also call them mahakusala citta. The same thing with mahavipaka. Mahavipaka citta should also be called kamavachara vipaka citta. But again here among the vipaka citta, it is the greatest in number, so we call it vipaka citta. Again, this mahakriya citta, they should also be called kamavachara kriya citta. Now because it is greater in number than the rupa vajra kriya and arupa vajra kriya citta, we also call them mahakriya citta. So we stop our morning section as we start about 15 minutes earlier today. So we also stop about 15 minutes earlier than 11 o'clock. So it's at present it is only 9:40, 10:40. not 10:40. So now we say we take the break for lunch and rest from this this time 10:40 to 1 p.m. So that means we can rest for 2 hours and 20 minutes. No, so that will be enough. So we should meet again, at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. Please come here. Let us begin our afternoon session. So we are on page 43. We begin with great moral consciousness, Mahakusala Chaitas. So it becomes easy now, because these 8 Mahakusala Chaitas, they have the name similar to 8 great-rooted consciousness. So if you look at the symbol on page 43, the symbols are also the same. We have 4 plus sign and 4 minus sign. So at the top, we have Deiti Sam and Deiti here Jnana Sam, Jnana weak. In the Lopamula Chaita, we have Deiti Kata Sambayutam. So instead of Deiti, the wrong view, we now put in Jnana Sambayutam. Jnana means wisdom or knowledge. So this knowledge or wisdom we take to be the knowledge, understanding karma and its result. We shall read this 8 Mahakusala Chaita in the same way. You just change Deiti into Jnana. So we say, So Manasa Saha Katam Jnana Sambayutam Asankharikam Ekam Sa Sankharikam Ekam. The next pair. So Manasa Saha Katam Jnana Vipayutam Asankharikam Ekam Sa Sankharikam Ekam. Upekha Sahakatam Jnana Sambayutam Asankharikam Ekam Sa Sankharikam Ekam. Upekha Sahakatam Jnana Vipayutam Asankharikam Ekam Sa Sankharikam Ekam. Well, very nice. You already know the meanings on page 44. So we try to translate. So the first consciousness, so we say Ekam is one consciousness. Asankharikam, unprompted. And Somanasa Sagatam is accompanied by joy, or you can say accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. Somanasa is pleasant mental feeling. And then the Jnana Sambayutam means associated with the knowledge of karma and its result. When you go to number 2, you just change the unprompted into prompted. Now when you go to 3 and 4, so you just change the Jnana Sambayutam to Jnana Vipyutam. Jnana Vipyutam means dissociated with knowledge, not associated with the knowledge of karma and result. So when you perform meritorious deeds with the knowledge of karma and result, it would be Jnana Sambayuta Mahakusala Chaita. If you don't know karma and result, and without that knowledge you perform meritorious deeds, so at that time the Chaita would be Jnana Vipyuta Mahakusala Chaita. So if you know this 4, the next 4 is the same. We have to change only Somanasa to Upekha. So instead of accompanied by pleasant mental feeling, you just say accompanied by neutral feeling. So neutral feeling, we also use the word indifference. So that are the meanings. Now these moral minds, they associate with beautiful roots. So we have three beautiful roots. What are they? Lobha, generosity, or greedlessness, and also non-attachment. And then we have dosa, hatelessness, no anger, and also goodwill, tolerance, and forgiveness, also loving kindness. And then moha is, we say, the knowledge of karma and result. If you know the karma and result, then your mind would be accommodated by this moha. Moha is also called panya, wisdom. Panya, wisdom, the same thing. So when we perform the almsgiving, we call dana. So, in almsgiving, you are giving away your money, into charity. You are giving up. So that means, you can conquer lobha, greed at that time. Lobha, craves for money, attached to money. It doesn't want to give money to anyone. But now, lobha, you develop lobha, so you have no attachment to your money. You freely give to charity. So at that time you say we have alobha. Alobha. But when you give money to a poor person or to the monks, so that means you also have the wish for the welfare of the other person. Wants him to be happy and well. That is loving kindness or adosa. So alobha, adosa will associate with it. So if you also know the karma and result during that time, so you offer, so by this good charity, may I attain nibbana. So that means you know karma and result. So then you have all the three roots. Like the children, they don't know karma and result. So because the parents persuade them to pay respect to the Buddha, they also pay respect to the Buddha. So when you pay respect to the Buddha, again you have alobha, adosa. Because if you can suppress lobha, dosa, not to arise, then you have automatically alobha, adosa at that time. So while you're paying respect to the Buddha, so you have no greed at that time. No anger. So if you also know, it is very to the state you will bear good result, then we say you know karma in result. So then you have moha, three roots. We say then your moral mind is three-rooted, and your karma is also three-rooted. Now when this three-rooted karma bear result, when it bear result, it will produce mahavipaka citta. Mahakita citta. And then mahavipaka citta will also have three roots. That means you are born as three-rooted person. Three-rooted person means you have wisdom by birth, we say. So you are more intelligent than two-rooted person. So like the other religions, they don't know karma and result. So they can, if they don't have this wisdom, the knowledge of karma and result, they can have only two-rooted, the moral karma. And when they are born only with two-rooted person. So in that case, their intelligence would be low. So, and again, like the children, the parents persuade them to pay respect to the Buddha. They develop moral minds, but without knowledge of karma and result. So only two-rooted. And also, important is, if you can perform with asankharika, spontaneously, with it being prompted by you or by others. Then asankharika is volitionally more active. Volition, so we shall call chetana, what is a mental factor that give rise to karma. Now this volition is very important actually. So when you willingly, without any being prompted, you voluntarily you offer alms, so you get asankharika mahakusala citta arising at that time. So if you are stingy, you want to give, you don't want to give again, you want to give. Well, should I give? Should I not give? Should I not give? You better give. Other people's give. You should give also. So in that case, you get only sasankharika, no mahakusala citta. So your volition is not active. So the karma is not very active. So the result you get would be less. Why the Buddha resided in Jetavana monastery, he announced that he would give the Dhamma talk both at the daytime and at the night time. So in Savatthi city, there's a very poor Brahmin couple, husband and wife. They have only one sari. You know sari? So the cloth they wrap around their body. They have only one sari. So they make agreement. The wife went to listen the Dhamma talk during the daytime, and the Brahmin would go in the night time. So when the Brahmin listened to the Dhamma talk, so the Buddha, he described about this almsgiving. So in almsgiving you get great benefit, the Buddha said. Just we understand now that we have a saying in Myanmar. So if you donate as much as a banyan seed, you will get the benefit greater than the banyan tree. The banyan seed is very small, very small. So that means, I used to say, if now you just donate $1, $1, so to the pagoda, then you will get $1 billion in every of your future existence, wherever you are born. In celestial realm and human realm, you already get a check of $1 billion. So if we know that, then we should donate very generously. Without donation, you will not become rich. Now, those who are poor, the one they do not donate in the past life. But those who donate very generously, then they will be very, very rich. Very rich. So now in Abhidhamma we understand, even in donating $1, during that time, moral minds, mahakusala citta, arises by many billions. So you get many billions good karma. So one good karma can condition you to be reborn in a human realm or celestial realm. And then you also get the wealth, so 1 billion times. So the Brahmin, he wanted to donate. We are very poor. I should donate something to the Buddha, he said. Now he said, what can I donate? This sari. Only this sari I possess. So he wanted to donate it. But then, the second thought, we say, if I donate it, my wife and I cannot come and listen to the Dhamma anymore. Well, I should not donate yet. So he didn't donate. He listened again. Why? He keep on listening to Buddha. He talked the Dhamma. So when it come to the midnight, he developed great generosity in him, great faith in the Buddha. So he decided to donate the sari. But again, the second thought, you should not donate it yet. You won't have any sari to go up. So that is also greed. Greed is so you are attached to this sari. So he cannot donate yet. Only when it comes to the dawn, at the time of the dawn. So the Buddha, he preached the whole night. He preached the whole night. Then he developed the generosity again. Well, he said, I must donate now. Otherwise, I shall be poor all the lives. So immediately he take the sari, he fold it up, he went to the Buddha, he put at the foot of the Buddha. The Buddha, I donate my sari to you. Then, very joyfully he went out. Then he shouted, Jitame, Jitame. Now I conquer. Jitame, now I conquer. Jitame, I conquer. 3 times. So at that time, King Kosala came into the Dhamma hall to pay respect to the Buddha. So the king was very busy with his security men. He was going round and round the city for safety of the people. So only at dawn, he returned to the palace. But before he returned to the palace, he used to come to the Buddha, pay respect. So as soon as he came in, he uttered this Brahma, the shouting, now I conquer. So the king trembled. What did he conquer? Did he conquer to kill me? So when you're in a high position, you have to have fear all the time. So he sent his messenger, you go in, go and inquire. So when the messenger came back, he conquered his greed and he could donate the only sari that he possessed. Well, the king was very delighted. Give him 2 sari. So they brought 2 sari, gave him. So as soon as he got 2 sari, Buddha, I donated you 2 sari. So that means, the first time you can donate is difficult. Once you conquer the lopa, then you can donate generously. And the king was very delighted. Give him 4 sari. So he gathered, Buddha, I donate you 4 sari. Give him 8 sari. I donate you 8 sari. Give him 16. I donate to you, Buddha. Give him 32 sari. Then he thought, this king is keep doubling the sari to me. I better keep 2 sari this time. 1 for me, 1 for my wife. So he donated 30 sari to the Buddha. So again the Buddha, the king was very delighted. Then he ordered to give him 2 velvet. So then you put down on the floor. What do you call it? The velvet, very, 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 very expensive. So each velvet worth about one lakh. For example, 1 lakh. So again, he offered 1 to the Buddha, and he took home 1 to his house, and he put it at his house as a ceiling. So when the monk came for alms food, the monk could sit under that ceiling. So when the king heard about this, so he gave the order, give him everything, 4 numbers. So we call sabbat chituka price. So that means give him 4 villages, 4 horses, 4 carriages, 4 elephants, and 4 maidens for attendant to him, and 4,000 rupiah, etc. Every time 4. So that means he become very rich. So he can even rule over 4 villages, and he can get the duty from this person. So the monks, they get together. How amazing! Just donating an old sari, that does not worth much. Now he got everything, 4 in numbers. So the Buddha came out. Well, he got 4 because he donated only at the 3rd watch of the night. That is at near dawn. If he could donate in the 2nd watch of the night, that is at midnight, he would get everything 8 in numbers. And if he can donate in the first watch, he will get 16 in number. So that means the abolition of the donation is very important.